Oh yeah, party people. This is Jason Gulley, One Stop DJ Shop, and we got my brother right here
What up, it's your big buddy Knock, DJ Nocturnal?
coming in all the way from Sacktown in the house. So we got 209 to 916 in the building. So it's going to be the. I still like the name that I was using previously. Is the Nuck and Nuck.
We're doing
Knock's
a
gonna get Nuck in this motherfucker.
we're doing a
It is
Canadian
the
show
Knock.
now.
Remember the Jerry Curl thing from one of my shows? It is the Knock and Gully podcast. We're doing a
Yes,
NAMM
yes.
2025 wrap up. I was boots on the ground in Anaheim Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the NAMM 2025 show. And Knock was chilling in Sacktown, soaking it in on social media, Instagram, Facebook. Were you on
Absolutely.
any other socials?
Mainly just the IG, a little bit of Twitter. Instagram and Twitch was the place to be. Bouncing around from the
Okay.
live
Okay.
streams on Twitch, and then the posts and stories from IG. That was the best sources for me.
And I'm glad you brought up Twitch because there was a lot of streamers there.
I heard. I
So there
heard.
was, yeah. So that was, I think I know that we're gonna go to TwitchCon in San Diego later in the year, but I think NAM is also turning into a lightweight TwitchCon.
Now, question actually, first question of the show. Um, Did you see anybody live streaming at NAM? I mean, live streaming other than like beat junkies and people like that. But were there people walking around live streaming or?
Not on the show floor, I did not. I'm sure there were, but I did see when I went to the mix and greet on Friday night. Icy
Mhm.
Ice was streaming that live.
That was dope. I caught that.
Um,
Yeah,
my buddy DT Jams Live still did his Vibing Out Friday remote somewhere. I didn't have a chance to. I wanted to support his stream, and I was just had my hands full. But he went to a remote location somewhere in Anaheim and streamed live.
that's dope. I did notice that the showroom floor streams were a little rough.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of people on the bandwidth in there, so it's you know it's you'd have a good signal and you're in that moment. I mean, it's
Mhm.
probably not the best place to do a live stream unless you have really somebody there dedicated that can sit there and work on it.
Got to,
You know,
got to.
instead of you trying to work on it and then people are still talking to you and it's could be a little chaotic
So
when it comes down to it.
I noticed a few things. The live streams progressively got worse. Like Saturday, the beat junkie stream was hanging on for dear life. And
What was it, just spinning wheel?
I imagine it wasn't quite the spinning wheel, but it was like in very choppy, freezing, like constantly. I imagine, like you said, it's a bandwidth issue. So by the third day at
Yeah.
NAM, they were tapped.
Oh yeah, and you
Yeah,
got to remember Saturday is like the biggest day out there, so it's
yeah,
going to be there's going to be a lot of people on phones. I mean, I was doing Facebook Live myself. My streams went pretty well, I didn't stream, but my lives were pretty good.
right.
Like it worked
Okay.
good. I got shut off when I was videoing audio one because it was a copyright restriction.
Yeah.
But
Oh
wasn't
man.
yeah. So that was kind of a bummer, but I get it. At least Facebook didn't say, "Hey, we're just going to shut you off after this." So at least
Yeah.
they played nice and just killed the stream and told me why, and I just kept it pushing. So
Now I wonder when you get a booth at NAM if there's even an option to somehow boost your bandwidth or have some kind of like sometimes these places have like dedicated like maybe servers or channels that like only certain people have access to. I wonder if that's even an option at NAM.
that's a good question. I don't have an answer for that. I would think not because it would have to be like a separate Wi-Fi for everybody.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
yeah.
think a shared Wi-Fi between 200, 300 booths would be a bit much.
Yeah.
Sophia the Fresh 916 asked, "How much is NAM tickets, and is it worth going?" Nowadays, it is open to the public. You can buy the pass for $150 for all 3 days. Breaks down to $50 a day.
Wow.
Is it worth going all day long? If you're into what we're into, if you're a musician, a DJ, into live sound, anything music related, you want to go down there.
Absolutely.
So absolutely worth going. $150. Some guys cried about that. It's $50 a day. And if you can't afford $50 a day, I go collect some cans. I don't know really what to tell you as a grown person that you can't afford $150 for 3 days, but yeah.
Dude,
I won't be mean.
maybe I'm just a big guy, but it costs damn near 30 bucks to feed me. So
Oh, well,
I
no, I
mean
was
on a daily.
spending.
So it's like, yo, like 50 bucks to go to
Sure.
NAM? That's not
Yeah.
bad, bro.
No, no, it's very, very reasonable for what you're getting out of the show. I mean, you're gonna
Yeah.
see all kinds of dope DJs. You're gonna run into musicians. There's musicians performing. I mean, there's just a ton going on.
Yeah.
It's by far well worth it. I
Yeah.
just think some guys were so used to getting free passes from somebody that they just want the free pass, and I get that. I mean, when I go to the bar, I don't want to buy a drink at the bar because I used to be a DJ getting free drinks.
Yeah.
I get it, but if you want to live in that moment, just spend the money.
That
That's it.
there is
That's
something
it.
cool about walking around the showroom floor with a special title or badge, like a one stop affiliate or things like that. That is
Sure.
kind of dope.
Absolutely. No, one stop was representing pretty hard this year at the show too. We had Egyptian Lover out there under the one stop umbrella
Oh
with his
wow.
homie AJ. I
Okay.
mean, we had B Boy Vidal, Aristomatic was under the one stop umbrella out there.
Very dope.
Cisco T, myself, Rob Alon holding down One Stop DJ Shop Las Vegas. He's the one that made it happen.
That's dope.
We went under his account, so we was out there representing One Stop DJ Shop Las Vegas. So
You guys
yeah,
are
it
out
was a
there
beautiful
tough.
thing. Oh no, Modesto was thick.
Yeah.
Like there was so much 209 in the house, man. We was deep. It
That's dope.
was a beautiful thing, really was. DJ Ugly 93 was keeping up with me on Facebook, and if you're friends on Facebook, I was taking no prisoners the whole time I was there. And I still got way more content to share with you guys. I just have to ration it out.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. And DJ Hazy J, I think he'll spend more time at the after parties. Yes and no. Sometimes after a long day at NAM, we don't go to an after party. We just catch dinner, go back to the Airbnb, take shots and bullshit. So it just depends. Of course, the mix and greet was the big show at Dave and Buster's. Yeah, that's a little bit more money, Hazy J, but I'm gonna tell you, party people, you live one time. What you saving your money for?
Mm,
Where's your money gonna go when you're dead? Probably to your family. So you might as well save some for them and
yeah.
then spend the rest on yourself having fun. I don't know. That's I had a lot of epiphanies at the end of the year, and one of them was big on the money and what am I saving for and what am I doing? And of course, I got a gang of credit too, so I'll pull that plastic out and swipe that shit when I don't have cash
There
and
you
let
go.
Citibank pay for it. And then I'll pay them back. So gotta live in the moment, party people.
Yeah.
We only around this time. As far as we know, we don't know what's going on after this. We'll save that part for another show.
So that actually brings me to one of my observations of NAM. It didn't look like, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were actually boots to the ground. I'm over here on reconnaissance mission. Um, it looked like it was less of a year for big gear drops and more of a year just for community link ups. Would you say it's about right or?
I'd agree because there was a few things that dropped here and there, but yeah, it's kind of been that way. Most manufacturers nowadays are going to drop throughout the year.
Okay.
They're not going to wait till the NAM show. I know Rain Corporation was really notorious for, excuse me, was notorious for like, hey, we got a new mixer coming out, kind of leak it a little bit. Then day one of NAM, boom, we got this Rain 64
Yeah.
or the Rain 62, 61.
Yep. Yep.
Sorry, I had some taquitos, man. I'm burping up some salsa right now. But yeah, so it was more, yeah, it's more about community and everybody coming together. And that's why I always call it the NAM fam.
Yeah.
This is the only one day or the one show a year I get to hang out with the Hit Squad DJs and see them in person and
It's
then
a big
everybody else
deal,
on the
man.
floor.
It's a big deal.
So, yeah, it's big for us to get together and hang out. We did not do a NAM social this year because, I mean, me and Patrick really, as people, we have our hands full with family. I have the shop. He's got Innovator, and plus, he's a working DJ. We both are. We both do a lot of weddings. But we met together at a meeting, and NAM Social number 6 in 2026 is going to be going down. So we're already starting to plan it now.
That'd be dope.
Oh, it's going to be dope. So make sure you start planning your trip, knock to NAM next year because you're going to need to be there for that.
That's yeah, I need to get up on all of this. I had a lot of people hit me up over the weekend, giving me shout outs, sending love, and being like, "Yo, where you at?" Most of them knew what was going on, but a lot of cats were surprisingly checking in on their big buddy Knock, which felt really good. But I did have some FOMO, man. There was a couple of times I was like, "Well, how much is a plane ticket to get out there right now?" Just like,
Yeah, no, understood, man. I mean, shit. I think anybody that was hanging back watching was like, "Damn it, I should have went."
yeah, dude,
Um,
so many opportunities to link up with people worldwide. It's not it's worldwide fam out there. People from all over the world. So I mean,
oh yeah, oh no, it's yeah, no, there's yeah, it is worldwide. I'm pretty sure every country on this planet was there representing on one way or another.
yeah,
You know, but yeah, no, we had of course the DJs for coast to coast. Like I said, there's
absolutely.
people I only see once a year that come in from New York or Baltimore or Florida,
Hmm.
Texas, Oregon, Arizona, Nevada, and I'm sure other
Yep.
places around the USA I'm probably not mentioning at the moment. But there was an absence of a lot of people that I didn't see, that I would normally see on the regular. And some of those guys are guys that are normally used to somebody paying for their whole way. And
Mm,
now the manufacturer's not paying for their whole way to get there. So again, back to the I'm a DJ. I don't want to buy a drink at the bar because I'm used to free drinks.
yeah,
But I guess they're just gonna have to get over that if they want to be there.
yeah.
If I mean, I'm a retailer, so of course I'm paying my whole way to go there, and then I deduct it from what I owe the IRS. So, so it's kind of like a I'm paying up front, but then the government's okay. You can pay us less money since you went and did
And it's
that.
like you said, it's open to the public. I mean, 150. You said 150, right, for the 3 day?
Yeah.
Dude, that's nothing to be around your
No.
peers, to be in the industry, rubbing elbows with everybody who's making things happen, and where else are you just going to be able to just walk up to Stevie Wonder?
Well, you cannot walk up to him
Oh, you
because
can't.
this year they're being a little tight on you getting too near him. But
Okay,
yeah, he walks in a posse.
yeah, yeah,
So
that's for
if
sure.
you're lucky to see his face, you're done pretty good.
Yeah,
This year, I heard they were being a little more hardcore. I did not see the Stevie posse this year, but I heard he was there and they were walking around. So
I saw some
I
photos.
missed out on that.
I saw a couple of photos of Stevie with some folks. But you're right,
Okay,
the
so
posse was in effect.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
like a parade
it is.
when
It
he
kind of
rolls
is like a
through.
parade.
I remember just seeing like the back of his hair just shaking as he's freaking walking by. I'm like, there's Stevie.
Somebody told me that yeah, Digital Underground performed at NAMM on
They
the
did. It
showroom
looked like it
floor.
was in the Ultimateers booth. I missed that performance. Again, I was very engulfed in what I was doing. I didn't get everything done that I wanted to get done. It's not a digital underground performance without Humpty. Without Shock G, I uh, I mean,
Yeah.
shouting much love and respect to Money B, man, and everybody involved in digital underground. But without Shock, I don't know, man.
So who is it that's taking up the mantle of Humpty? Because there is somebody in Digital Underground playing the role as
Yes,
Humpty.
yes. It's if I don't know what happened at NAM, so I can't exactly speak on what happened at NAM. But Young Hump
Okay.
is Phil is the guy now that fills in for Shock on that.
You know,
Yeah,
my man DJ Source is in the chat. He probably has a good idea of who took up the mantle for Humpty. But I've
yeah,
heard, yeah, I heard they were doing it at NAM, doing getting it in.
yeah. I think that would happen Saturday. You know,
I think so.
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I missed that one. When I first started working in radio back in 1999, me and my homie Rudy Palominos goes by TOS. We got hired as interns at Hot 105, today's hottest music out of Merced. And our first day on the job was this concert called Beach Blast, and we were there to hang banners. Well, we also were VIPs behind backstage. We Digital Underground was one of the performers,
That's
or
dope.
one of the groups. Oh man, surreal.
That's
So I got
dope.
to see him back then. You know what I mean? And they already had been around for a while. So yeah, there was a lot of people. Sheila E was there. I didn't see her. I would have loved to walked
Oh,
up
that
on
would have been
her.
great.
That's how it always goes, though. I mean, you can only be in so many spots. Rolling around. I mean, always aftermath of seeing who was there and didn't run into, it was always like, "Damn."
So
But
it looked like there was a lot going on. Like there was conflicting shows. Like there was battles and performances and meet and greets and all these things going on
sure.
where people were like, ah, you got to pick and choose where you're going to spend your time because there's so much going on.
And I'm glad you brought that up because I had not heard a word about that rain battle, like nothing.
You
Have
know
you?
what? Neither did I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the Tokyo battle went down because I was there for the whole thing, but I have not. If anybody in the chat or when we get this put up on Facebook and YouTube, if you guys were there in that battle, please chime in and if there was a winner and if they actually gave away a performer or whatever, let us know.
You know what? I think the only thing I saw was a couple of photos of the battle. I don't know what the rules were. I don't know who was in it. I don't. Yeah, I don't. I just seen the announcement before NAM that they were going to throw a battle. But that was it. I didn't really see anybody talking about it.
Well, it didn't say what time, so I remember posting on Facebook was like, "This is going down the same time as the Tokyo Battle Royale, or is it at a different time?" Because I think if another manufacturer knows another booth is throwing a battle, and you're going to throw it at the same time,
Yeah, it's not a
that's
good
not how
look.
you do shit.
That's not a
Yeah,
good
it's not
look.
how you do shit. That's kind of like the damn social on BPM Supreme. You know what I mean? And the shit they pulled. You know what I mean? You don't do
Yeah.
that. Unless you're just an asshole. You know what I mean? And yeah, I said it.
It's there was some of that this year. There were some groups that were a little irritated that other groups were throwing events at the same time, but in reality, luckily this time anyway, um NAM is kind of, I mean, we're all under one groove, right? We're all DJs and it's a beautiful thing. But there's levels to it. There's different sides to it. So there's the more club party rock guys kind of stick to their little area. And then you got like the hardcore turntablist guys, the scratch guys who kind of go off and do their thing. So when you have multiple events going on, those two groups are going to split off anyway. So
Right.
it's not too much of a big thing. And so for instance, one night there was the party with Icy Ice and friends. I don't what the Dave and Buster party. That
Yeah,
was
Friday
popping
night.
off and they looked
Yep.
like they had a really good time and a good turnout. And then that same night, they had the Lost Tone Pros Invitational Battle, which
Right.
is a scratch
Yep.
battle. That was
Uh-huh.
popping off, tons of people over there. So I was like, yeah, it's I get it, it's all DJ community, but those two events appeal to two different types of DJs.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, because Dave and Buster's was a party. Like, if you
Right.
wanted to go
You guys were
dance
partying.
and
I was watching that stream too. You
yeah,
guys were partying.
yeah, it was party. Then the other one is more, the scratch, the hip hop culture
Right.
stuff. Yeah, I didn't attend any of the scratch parties, not because I didn't want to, but they weren't like nearby the show or anything. So I'm down there at the mercy of, the guys and what we're gonna do. So if
Yeah,
we come
yeah.
together as a collective, what are we gonna do Thursday night? What are we gonna do Friday night? You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if I wanted bad enough, I can be like, all right, guys, peace out. I'm gonna freaking go over here and do this, that, and the other. But there's only one of me, so I got to kind of pick what I want to do.
So, some
But
people did
shout
that.
yeah, shout out to the Tableless Lounge and Lost One Pros and Scratcher and everybody that does the events. I mean, it's a little something for everybody.
Something for
Shout out
everybody,
to
man.
Icy Ice.
Yes.
Throwing the mix greet. That's the party I went to, and that's the night we parking lot pimped in the front, and I sold Mixed Coast shirts, and we took shots of actually some rum and some tequila, so it was really fun.
Dude, it was funny because I was watching both streams. I was watching Lost Tone Pros, and then I was watching the Dave and Buster party. And what's his name? Devin Hype was battling in the scratch battle. He did really well too. Shout out to Devin
Yeah,
Hype. He made, I
yeah,
think
that's my man.
he was doing his thing. So I was watching him on LTP stream, and then unfortunately he got eliminated. And I feel like 5 minutes later, this dude is on the Icy Isis stream dropping his set, like going ape shit. I was like, how the hell did he get from like the LTP like scratch battle and shoot right over to Dave and Buster's like that fast? It was funny.
Maybe
It
he's
was
like
just
part.
funny.
He teleported.
It seemed like it,
It-
and
it's
then
that magic hat. He's got magic in that hat, man. Like Frosty the Snowman.
We had this
Shouts to my
question.
man Devin Hype, man. Love that guy.
We had this question in the LTP chat. A lot of people were curious about what does that hat smell like. So that's something to think about.
You know, I didn't smell it, but it's a good question, man. It might smell like hair dye because he be dyeing his hair. I don't know.
Dude,
But
somebody
my
said
man don't stink, so we good.
yeah, we're not trying to say that Devin Hype is funky outside of the decks, because that man is funky
Yeah,
on the decks. But
true that.
there was some curiosity about what the hat smells like.
Yeah, no, next time I'm near him, I'll give it a big whiff, man, and I'll report back to you and let you know.
Dude, yeah, shout out to the homies, man. I saw J Dog himself in the Icy Ice stream. I seen you out there hanging out with the guys, chilling.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I seen you
Yeah.
in there. I saw
No.
Junie C in there. Junie C looked
Mm.
he looked confused for a second. I was like, man, what's going on with June? You were there in the
Hey, man, he's
background looking
probably tired
confused.
from walking the NAMM floor, man. We old men over here trying to still hang like we young, man. Shit,
Dude,
no,
so
man.
fill us in, man. Like, what was the vibe of the show? What stood out to you? What were you hyped off of this year at NAM?
Okay, well, I'll start from day one on Thursday. So, of course, we get up early. We go eat breakfast. Me and the Hit Squad fam. And so I got a leak that the Alpha Theta Pioneer DJ booth, there's going to be a vinyl cutter in there, and you're allowed to bring a file, an audio file with you, and they'll put it on a vinyl record. So that was the first thing that I'm after. So I thought, what do I want to do? So I thought maybe I'll put DJ drops on there. I was like, no, you know what? I right now I'm on a hiatus. I do produce music, excuse me. And I thought, okay, there were a long time ago when I worked at Guitar Center, they gave us this free thing called TuneCore, like one free upload through TuneCore. It puts a song on iTunes. So I had produced a song called Bounce Them Hips, which kind of started from a DJ drop that I was doing with the microKORG with a vocoder. But I produced the whole track, sample Kraftwerks and everything else. I'll share maybe a piece of that when I go back and edit this video. So, anyways, I know about this. So I'm the first person there. I'm like, got my jump drive ready, and so I'm gonna pull up the cover of the record. Oh, let me fix my headphones here.
But yeah, for sure.
I was trying to keep my hair fresh, but my headphones keep sliding down. So, okay, so this is the sleeve. It's a 10-inch.
That's
This is the
clean.
back of it. So shout out to Wes. He was the guy doing it. I guess he's been on at the NAM show before doing this stuff. So, but he wasn't in conjunction with Pioneer DJ. Here's the record.
Dude, yeah,
Glass
man.
clear. This song has my song that I produced. I did it all. I did the coding, produced it, did all the sampling, and even mastered it myself.
That's
Did
super
all
dope.
all that at my house. It was on iTunes for a year. Didn't make no money. I mean, it's not like a popular song or anything, but either way, I mean, it's my track, my jam, and now it's on vinyl.
So they
So
cut
now,
that live on the showroom floor.
right there on the floor, if you were following my Facebook, you saw me doing a live video while he was doing it,
I
and
missed
then me
it.
posting the picture.
Yeah.
It's there. So,
I saw the photo. I saw the because you sent me the flick on the gram. I didn't see the video.
yeah, it's if you go to my page, you'll be able to find it on YouTube and stuff. I'll drop a link on there so you can go back because everything I do on Facebook is public, so you'll be able to go back and look at it.
So
So that's the first thing I did. Got that out the way. Of course, everybody started like signing up after that. So I've got hit it first, got it done, all because it got leaked to me, and I won't share who leaked it to me, but yeah,
so
shout out to the
question
person that did. You know
is the cutter for sale, or is it just something they were using, or
that we're trying to look into that because me and Rob thought, how cool would that be if we was able to do that?
yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
was able to come into the shop and we can put some music on vinyl for you. So
Right.
I think that would be pretty cool.
Right, right. And
Junie C says, Gully got them Mr. P chill iTunes numbers. Well, man, the numbers is pretty low, bro.
shout out to Chill.
I think I got freaking maybe like $1 out of that. But I wasn't doing it for money. I was just doing it because I was able to do it. And I wanted to see if I could do it. And I
Yeah,
did
man.
do it. So there it is. That's what happened. So yeah, so that's what I hit running from there. So after
That's
that, of
dope.
course, after the buzz of Phase, went to Phase next, you know, and there was a lot of talk about, oh, is that custom vinyl? No, Phase had slip mats made by Glowtronics.
Okay.
Snatched me up, snatched me up a set of them. I might give them away. I don't know. I'm gonna definitely do a giveaway today on Facebook, so stay tuned. No, I'm not sure if I want to keep them. I want to give them away. I don't know. We shall
Okay.
see. So went and checked it out. I did a Facebook Live on that too. Somebody was in the booth cutting it up. Phase remotes are working good. Now there's like a digital display on the Phase, so you can do different things on the Phase. It's like a touchscreen, so you can be swiping on it. And I guess just like most new gear that's coming out from Pioneer, controller wise, you can put your logo on there and
Yeah.
be super fancy. But I mean, in the end, you're the only one that sees it, unless you have a
Yeah.
camera right on your decks, like for Twitch or something. You can see your logo spinning around, but still, it's keeping up with keeping up with the times.
So
Now, oh, go ahead.
I wanted to chime in on that because I heard a rumor that FaZe was going to drop a controller, and that rumor traveled a little bit, and it obviously wasn't a controller. But what I did also hear from people who experienced it, got to mess with it, they said that the FaZe Pro, and I'm just, this is kind of hearsay, just what I've heard. I can't say it's completely factual. This is just what a few people have told me. They said there's a pretty big lag, more than the actual like current phase
No,
units.
no. I sat there and cut up with it, dude. It was on point.
Was it?
That's a rumor,
Okay.
and it was on a different day, and something else was wrong. But on Thursday morning, I scratched with Phase, and it
Felt pretty good.
felt like the same Phase that I played on before. So
Nice. That's,
I
well,
have to
that's good to
squash that
hear.
rumor right here.
That's good to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they went on another day or somebody changed a laptop or, but there was two setups, I think. So maybe one was worse than the other, but I went to the one that was right in the left of the booth as you went in,
Right.
and its scratching was on point.
Did the features work? Like, were you able to like actually like use the touchscreen, or was it
I
just
didn't know
demo?
about those features until later on watching a video. So
Gotcha.
I didn't go back and mess around because I'm trying to check out everything. But yeah, so one of the big buzz was the price. Okay.
Right.
So I had people message me and calling me, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, when I'm at the NAMM show, don't message me or call me because I'm at the NAMM show. I can't stop what I'm doing to answer questions about something I barely even know about. No disrespect. I love you guys, and I'm glad you think of me highly enough to call me and want to message me. But when I'm at that show, my attention's to the show, and when I get back, I'm happy to answer any questions and jump on a call with you guys. So a lot of guys were upset about the price. So they were saying street price $800. Nothing's been confirmed. Okay.
Oh, so that's
I don't
just
have dealer
rumor.
cost yet. I don't have map yet.
Right.
And in fact, I don't even have a release date. They just said spring 2025.
Spring 25.
And that's it. So my thing is, and this goes for any gear that's out there. If you can't afford it, that's fine. Don't knock the product because you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. That's it. That's all. Now, I did my words were throughout the show, if you want to spend that kind of money and you got money, buy the Pioneer DJ Cross 12s. Do yourself a favor. The only rebuttal I got from that was guys that are showing up to clubs that have turntables already. They want to use a phase because tone arms are jacked up or whatever. Again, I get that. Get that. That was a big reason to buy phase because of that.
Yeah.
Now, if the pitch control's messed up on that turntable, phase ain't going to help you.
Phase ain't helping you,
So
bro.
you're almost better off just bringing your own stuff in the end,
Yeah.
a controller or a set of turntables and a mixer. So those are my words. But don't slam the gear because you can't afford it.
Hey, we're all
That-
not
that-
Junie C. We all don't buy the latest and greatest.
well, I don't know about that, Knock. You be buying some pretty latest and greatest stuff, and me. Well, I have the store, so I have a reason to buy the latest and greatest stuff. So I have my justification. Well, I got to buy it for the store. So,
Yeah.
God damn it.
My brother Junie C gave me this nickname years ago. I said, "Man, Junie," I said, "you be buying everything brand new." He said, "Well, shit, then that must mean you're Mr. Me Too." I was just
That's it,
it's like,
man.
hey, we got to
That's
slow
it.
down. But
Well,
to
the thing
double
is,
oh, go ahead, yeah.
we're all kind of gear junkies, man. You know,
Oh,
we
absolutely.
want to get the latest and greatest stuff. We want to play on it, and luckily for the guys here in the 209, they're able to walk through the door right here and play on it. But people around the country don't have that luxury, and if
Yeah.
the guitar center in your town doesn't have cross 12s hooked up, then you're not going to be able to go in there and play on them. I know the one here in Modesto don't. I don't know around the country if
I don't
they
think we
got
do.
cross 12s hooked up or anything like that, but I highly doubt it because
No.
last time I was at the Vegas Guitar Center, they were had some Denon stuff hooked up, and I'm like, well, where's all the Pioneer stuff, like the stuff that sells, you know? But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day, Junie C said you calling the it's like calling the pot, calling the kettle, calling the pot the kettle black. I know I'm saying it
Yeah,
wrong, but you
pot
guys know what
calling the
I'm
kettle
saying.
black.
There it is.
Yeah,
So maybe one day in a good world, there'll be one stop sprinkled out throughout the USA, and you guys can come in and play on the
that'd be
gear.
great. That'd be great. My whole thing,
I'm
looking at phase is I was talking to a couple of buddies because, much like yourself, I get a couple of phone calls when gear gets released or teased or whatnot, and guys complained about the price. But I said, look at it like this: your average needle head shell combination stylus combo, all of that, you're looking at upwards of $200. It is what it is. If you're buying a new set, carts, head shells, the whole thing, you're looking upwards of 200 depending on the grade of the needle. Are you buying the entry level stuff? Are you buying the scratch stuff? What are you buying? Um Now, Jason, you know the answer to this, but what is the recommended time period to replace needles? What is it? Is it 6 months? Is it a year? What's the recommended usage of a needle or
It's really going
replacement?
to depend on how much weight you're putting on your cartridge.
So let's think
I've been
like
using
average working DJs, like guys that are out every weekend using needles. What would you
every
recommend?
weekend. I'm not out every weekend, and I just changed the stylus after 3 years with the
Oh shit.
Artefon OM Scratch
Yeah, man.
because I'm using Serato. I'm sure if I put that needle on a vinyl record, it probably wouldn't sound so great, but it's
Right.
still tracking Serato really good.
Right,
You
right.
know, yeah. So how much is a stylus? 30, $40.
Yeah, depending,
So
yeah.
do I need to buy phase? I don't. I'm still out with one turntable, Rain 62, and using input reverse on Scratch Live, and I don't have to worry about another box. I don't have to charge nothing. But that's me.
Right.
I'm not going to say don't buy phase, you can buy needles, but it pretty much does the same thing. And since it's my turntable, I know it works good. Pitch is calibrated, RCA's are good. We good.
Right.
There's some Junie said on something on here that the DJs want the gear at Gemini prices.
Oh, can't do it, brother. Don't do it. Don't do
Yeah,
it.
well, that's what it is. But yeah, but back to the needle thing. It doesn't cost much to maintain your needles. It's going to be still cheaper than Phase. I mean, when Phase is on sale, it's around $400 for the essential pack.
Yeah.
How many styluses can you buy for $400? Depending on what your cartridge is. So let's say you're a diehard 44/7 guy from Shure. Right now, Negioka styluses are running $60 a pop, and if that stylus can last you a year, so by the time you bought $400 worth, I think you'd be good for a few years. That'd probably outlast the phase, to be honest.
That's
I
interesting.
don't think
See,
you'll.
I was looking at it actually the other way around. I was thinking that phase would save you money.
Well, phase ain't been out what 5 years, so the feedback that I've gotten over the years is the remotes eventually do die.
Wow. Okay, I've never heard that. You see, I bought in the phase. I got really lucky. My phase essential unit works really great. I've never had issues with it. I was one of the lucky ones who got a good batch.
Right.
With that being said, I don't use phase nearly as much as you think I would. I'm still on needles. I use the VNLs. I think they're great. They work really well. I always champion them whenever people ask me about needles. I say go VNL.
Yeah.
Um, I don't use phase a whole lot, and I don't really have a reason why. I just don't. I don't know.
Well, probably because you got to hook it up. I'm like, needle. You just unlatch the tone arm and drop it on the record. Like I said, when the phase came out, it's like there's now it's like kind of going back to the Serato box.
Right.
Now you have to hook up another box. Well, now you don't have to do RCA's. You can do HID mode, so it's gotten a little easier.
A little easier.
I just thought maybe one day they'll integrate this into a mixer or something else that you won't have to have that box, but that's not gonna happen
I've
because you're
seen
gonna
a
need the
couple.
charger
Yeah.
remotes and, you know.
I've seen a few requests. Some guys are asking for circular like pucks. They're like, we don't want a dongle. We want a circular thing that sits on the spindle, much like a 45 adapter.
Now, that's gonna be depend on the way you DJ. See, I'm a label pusher when I'm gonna move forward when I'm mixing, and then I drag the platter.
Good
So
point.
having something on that already even phase is, like, in my way.
That's a solid point. It's a very solid
So
point.
th so if you're a pitch writer, you're probably good.
Yeah.
So it probably wouldn't matter. It's the same with rocking the Cross 12. You know, we got the Magville on there, so and I'm able to still DJ around it, as long as there's some label for me to push. So I guess anything can be pulled off if you just practice enough with it and you've been good, you know?
I think the Phase 12s looks really interesting. It's one of those products that's either you're gonna have an aha moment. You're either gonna be like, wow, these features are really dope. I like this. I like the ability to customize and have touchscreen controls, or it's gonna be a feature that you're not gonna use. You're just like, you know what? I have Phase Pros. I don't ever use these damn features. I just use Phase as
Yeah.
Phase. So
Yeah.
it's yet to be determined. We'll find out.
We're gonna see where the future goes. Junie C's looking at them cross 12s. Has been 10 years since he bought decks. You got the hookup, brother. Reach out.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be interesting. I think Phase, if they would have did just Phase 2.0 and made a slimmer, smaller dongle, again, improve connection, improve all of that. I think that would have sold just fine too. I think they would have had no problem selling that.
Yeah. Well, I think the Phase Essential Pack for what it is already is fine. I mean,
Yeah, it works great.
I
There's nothing. I mean,
the thing is,
I
if
can't
something
say there's
works, I'm not
nothing
gonna.
wrong with it, but it works. When it works great. It's good.
Yeah. But,
It's good.
we're still at the beginning of all this stuff, really, even though it's been a few years that we don't know what else is going to come down the pipe.
Right.
I always thought maybe putting it in a record would work, but then again, if the record's warped, that would defeat the purpose. So,
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
that would probably just be a bad idea. So,
Exactly. I am a
okay,
little
so
sad that I didn't see more gear at this NAM though.
yeah, yeah. Well, like I said, it was more community, like you said. So I think from Phase, I moved on to. I'm trying to think of where I went from there because we're all kind of in this one hub area
Yeah,
where all the DJ stuff's at. I'm pretty sure I went off to Odyssey cases, possibly, since I was in that neighborhood. And they got these nice new vinyl cases. I don't know if you saw my picture on IG.
I did.
They have multiple colors of vinyl cases dropping next month. Excited about
Uh,
that.
I've seen a reoccurring
Really
theme.
excited.
A lot of booths were pushing like pastel colors. What's up with
Yeah.
that?
For those that like those colors, I don't know. It's Easter eggs, man.
I saw that. Uh,
I'm going to be ordering them all of them. So because lately there's been a surgence of guys that have been wanting to buy cases for their vinyl.
Vinyl
So we're
culture is
kind of circling
huge.
back.
Vinyl
Yeah,
culture is huge. It's so many vinyl DJs are really getting shine right now. A lot of new venues. Vinyl's really it's booming. Yeah, it's
yeah,
really these cases
yeah,
look cool. They look retro inspired. They look like they're like throwbacks.
yeah, yeah. They look like the old pro cases, from
Okay.
back in the day.
Yeah.
I was buying those from PSSL back in the day. And in fact, I still have vinyl in those cases. That's what I carried around to do my gigs. Once I went to the intro outro records like Lethal Weapon and Top Secret and Fill in the Gap, and so
Right.
you had 6 tracks on one, the intro outro stuff. So that
Love
was
those.
pretty nice. Well, look, we got Doc Jeezy in the chat. Oh shit, your big buddy Knock and Santa getting it in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's right. You call me Vato Claus, homie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, these cases look sick. Are the tops flat? Like, cause you sold me an RC case fall back. I love it, man. It has a recessed like handle so you can actually stack them.
I'm pretty sure I didn't they were kinda in a case, like, you couldn't just grab them. So I'm
Okay.
pretty sure the handle was recessed on those for stacking. It wasn't
Dude.
like some of the old ones I have where the handle was protruding on the
Right.
top
You
where
can't stack them and they
it
fall
would be
over.
wobbling around if you tried to
Yeah.
stack them. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'll have to look more into it. I'll dig up on the website. And, of course, on this podcast, I'll be throwing videos in on the share. Right now, we're just live on Twitch, but when it's up on YouTube and Facebook, I'll put pictures of the stuff I saw, and shouts out to Odyssey Cases.
Yeah.
They reshared my post on IG, after I put it up there.
They're
So
really nice. They got a really throwback look to them with the colorways that they chose to go with, and the logo looked different. I don't know if it's like an older throwback logo or a redesign, but the Odyssey logo looked a little different
oh man, I have to look at that. I think
on the
it's
cases anyway.
probably I
Yeah.
think it's a newer one, but I could be wrong. I'd have to
Yeah.
look at that picture again to answer that. What's up, DJ Clint from Hit Squad GJs? He joined the chat with us.
Nice. Good
He
to
was
see
there at the show
everybody.
with me. We walked around. One of the guys I was talking to at a meeting goes, "Is this your bodyguard?" Well, if he has to be, he will.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, what's up, Clint? Man, what a good time, man! What a good time at the show. So from Odyssey, I think it's hard for me to retrace all my footsteps where I went around, but I started just walking around just aimlessly, checking out different stuff. And like you said, there wasn't much new stuff to really go look at. You know what I mean? So I just kind of cruised around,
Well, there was one
trying
that
to
was
see
under the radar, right? One piece of gear came out that they kept hush hush until what's Friday?
what are you talking about? The Rain One
I
MK2
am.
or
The rain.
so they had private meetings that day, so I didn't see it that day. But it's funny is somebody told me about it on the floor, and I happened to walk up and start talking to somebody I knew, and there was a guy named Jason Stout that works for In Music, and a guy named Chris Roman that was from In Music, and Jason goes, "Oh, yeah, we just dropped the Rain One MK2," and I'm like, "Yeah, I just found out about that." He's like, "What? Who told you?" And I was like, "A bird told another bird, and that bird told me,"
Birds chirp.
and
That's what
that's how
they
I
do.
found out. So I started questioning him right immediately about it, and I was like, "Well, I hope it has the platters of the Performer."
Mm.
He just looks at me, "Nope, it doesn't. It's the same old ones." I'm like, "Okay, well, hopefully the pitches are on top, not on the side by channel one." He didn't even answer me on that one. And I could say the answer was no. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, when can I go see it? He's all tomorrow. It'll be open to the public, Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
So I checked it out those days. So yeah, we don't have to stay in the timeline of what I saw and when I saw it. We walked up, me and Rob Alon, walked up to In Music booth and went in there and checked it out. And it just had a couple extra buttons on it, man. And it was in white.
Hmm. Uh,
Yeah, so I don't predict it's going to be a big seller. Um, I don't know. I shared it on
yeah. Yeah.
Instagram and got a little traction. People like it, but nobody said, "Hey, Jason, take my money, order me one."
What's the
None of that
selling point?
happened.
What's the big improvement? Like, what's
Well, the two buttons that I saw was it had stem buttons for instant acapella or
okay?
instant instrumental.
Okay.
So that's something that I saw. What's up to the homie DJ VJ1 Donald? How you doing, brother? Happy Monday. Yeah, so I mean, it'll sell. I mean, I, th- I think if they would have done performer platters on it and put the pitch up top, it probably would have made a better controller. But I mean, we're talking now new molds, and there's a lot of stuff you have to consider when you're redesigning something. So from a manufacturer standpoint, I get it. I really do.
Educate me on that. I'm not familiar with that platter. Why would you prefer that platter? What's the difference?
Well, for one, it doesn't have where like the Rain 12 that style that MIDI control platter
Oh, okay.
where you're using that 45 adapter looking piece,
Yeah.
and it's on a small 7-inch. So now the room that you have to rub your hand on that record is now cut down by a couple inches because of that middle piece.
Gotcha.
So that's
Okay.
one thing. Let's face it, Rev 7 platter, Performer platter, it's using the Serato tone, way sharper. And if you're going to scratch and all that stuff, that's going to be a better platter to work with
Gotcha. Okay.
overall. MIDI control is different than the actual Serato tone going through the system.
Right.
Not that you can't get down on these controllers and the Range 12 and everything to scratch. You can. You see guys do it all the time. So
Right.
it's just getting used to it. But if you want something that's really sharp, then those platters are going to be sharper. So I don't know if it was a money thing. Again, they have to redesign, to do that. I'm not a manufacturer. I don't build gear. I just play on gear. So I can't give you the ins and outs of all that. But at least in music's still pushing it forward. and trying to keep it going. There
Yeah.
probably was some other differences on that controller that I wasn't keen on. I've never been a fan of that controller. I'll just be keeping honest with you. I didn't like the fact that the pitch fader was right next to channel one.
Mm,
If you're in a dark spot or you're DJing and you're grabbing the pitch instead of the volume or vice versa, could jack you up a little bit. I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure your muscle memory will get used to it,
Yeah, yeah.
but that's just one of my gripes, and there's gear for all of us. We're not always going to like every piece of gear. There's something for everybody. You just got to find what works for you. And this day and age of DJing, we have lots of choices.
So
So
many.
that's the beauty of where we're at in the technology and how big DJ's got and how big DJ is going is we have a lot of choices. When I started DJing, there was one choice. Two turntables and a mixer. That was your
Eh,
choice. Now, if you got kind of fancy, maybe you had a cassette deck with pitch control on it and you could try to figure that out or a reel to reel, but really it was two turntables and a mixer and that's what you had. Those were the choices.
So when we
And
were doing our test stream earlier today, you made a statement that I thought was really profound. That I think a lot of our new friends here in the chat would really benefit from hearing. Is you were talking about the importance of turntables and mixers and things of that nature.
yes, yes, absolutely. I'm going to be an old man and I'm going to get on the soapbox and I'm going to make a post later on Facebook that is probably not going to be favorable to some people. But I talked to a lot of OGs while I was at NAMM about this, and I feel I'm in a position where I could help push this movement. I want to stress the importance of DJs if you're a kid or even a grown person, it doesn't matter. If you're interested in DJing and you want to get into DJing and you appreciate, the golden age of DJing, you really need to start on two turntables and a mixer. That is the foundation. This is If you get good with that, you start on that, you'll going into digital DJing is going to be real seamless for you, and it's going to make you a lot better of a DJ. I mean, when I went from turntables to digital stuff, it made it real easy for me to do that because I already had the fundamental down of DJing. So I'm going to be on the soapbox stressing that importance, and I know there's going to be some people arguing with me about the horse and buggy in the car. Okay, and I understand that, and that's fine. And have your opinion, but I'm going to tell you right now that most OGs will agree with exactly what I'm saying. And I was already pushing this movement. And at the end of the battle royale at the Stokio booth, Shortcut got on the mic and was talking about Aristomatic being 11 years old, killing it on vinyl, and said, "Hey, you really need to teach this young generation the importance of being on turntables, so that way when they go to digital, it's going to be real easy for them and more seamless to go that direction." And he just happened to say that after I was already pushing this whole statement throughout the show. And a lot of OGs were looking at me crazy at first, but once I explained what I was saying, we're all in agreement here. This is what we want. Yeah, yeah, Doc Jeezy, tell him to get off your lawn. That's probably exactly what I'm going to get. There's going to be people that are going to come at me. DJ Straight. I think I can't. Well, I should put my glasses on. It looks
Yeah,
like DJ
straight
Straight
six. Yep.
Six. Say it again for the people in the back. The children need to start off on two turntables and a mixer with vinyl records. This is important for us to preserve what we've done. And for
Absolutely.
all the OGs, for guys like Cameron Paul and the earlier scratch guys, DJ Flair, this is really important to the culture that we don't lose this. We got to keep this going. It's going to take people like us to make that happen. It's going to take the OGs to make it happen because the kids don't know. The kids are on TikTok watching heart hands and dancing around the setup and all this stuff, and that's just not my thing. And I tried to embrace it, and I'm not knocking it. I'm not. But that's giving the wrong impression to the kids about what DJing is about. And that's just how I feel about it. Um, People may beg to differ. Well, it's technology. We're moving forward. If that's moving forward, DJing, then we got a problem because that is not moving forward. Being in a big festival, hitting a filter every now and then on a pre-recorded mix is not DJing. You're
Yeah.
not DJing. You're hitting play. And if the crowd wants to go wild for that, the crowd doesn't. See, we're DJs. We know what's going on behind the scenes. The crowd does not know that. The crowd thinks the guy behind or the girl behind the decks is actually doing that shit. They don't know that they're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So this gives off this wrong impression. So people, the kids want to be an instant rock star. They want to get on there and be like, okay, I'm going to hit play and I'm going to dance around the setup. I don't know. It's Twilight Zone to me, but again, I come from the old age of DJing. I saw a guy mixing when I was 11 years old, knew right then and there that's what I want to do. And this guy was mixing vinyl records. And that's what was going on in 1984. These kids see these guys now and they idolize that. Well, they're getting the wrong impression. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So as OGs, it's time for us to kind of step in and be like, hey, let me show you what's going on here.
It's
So that
education.
is definitely a movement that I was pushing at the NAMM show on the NAMM show floor. So
I'm glad
yeah,
that you were, man. It's really comes down to education. Like a lot of people they're speaking a lot of similar to what you're saying, man. They're talking about we need to educate the future generations and really uphold the culture. And I've always kind of been someone who I've been open to a lot of different type of gear. And I just kind of tell people, well, I would tell them when they'd ask me what I prefer to play on. I say, hey, play on everything, man. Learn how to play on everything. And I still stand behind that. But at the same time, I do recall certain bigger DJs who a lot of people look up to. I'm talking about DJ and I'm talking about these bigger DJs, right, that have a lot of credibility behind their names, and they will go and put out these sponsored videos with these bigger corporations promoting things like instant scratch. And I'm like, we can't be doing that, bro. Like, the check might have been dope. I'm sure you got cashed out. But when you're promoting a product that has instant scratch and you're a legend and you're an OG and you're an authority in this culture, you're really sending the wrong message. I'm sorry. You just are.
yeah, yeah. And I know who you're talking about, and I still look up to that man to this day, and I love him. But yeah, I'm sure there was some money behind that. And let's face it, who uses that feature?
Nobody.
Um, and again, it was rolled out as such, like this is going to help them learn to scratch.
No, it's
No, it's
not.
not.
No, it is not. See,
I
that
remember
stuff's a
I when
problem. Yeah.
I remember when I got the controller in, I did a little routine, with all now fish using those buttons, and I was getting down on a juggle just by hitting a button on each side, man.
Yeah.
that that's not fun. Like you want to do it for real.
Do it
Like
for
you want to
real.
do it for real, even if you're going to do it on the controller and and move those platters back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like this right here, this subject can be a podcast in itself.
it can,
We can go on
it
a whole
can,
tangent, which we probably will. We'll circle back some time and we'll talk about the
yeah,
current climate of DJ culture. We'll do all that. This is just the beginning. So we got
yeah.
so many tangents and topics we could jump on. But I'm really glad that you took the time to put that message out on the showroom floor now. That's big. That's important.
Yeah. So we'll address one more comment in the chat, and then we'll move back to the NAM show. DJ Straight Six. I had a conversation with a parent of a 13-year-old wondering why his son on a Flex 10 not getting the props of a 13-year-old on turntables.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm sure you set them straight on that one it's because vinyl records. I try to use this analogy to make sense to people. It's like driving a stick shift car.
yeah,
It's like you're mixing with two records. When you're on digital, it's like driving on automatic. So yeah, so the OGs that know how it is to get down on vinyl records knows what kind of skill set you need to have. You got to know your records. You got to make sure the needle don't skip. With digital, you're not thinking of any of that stuff. You know what I mean? You can see the wave file. You can mark the break in the record on the software and know right where it is. If you miss a break, you can loop. You can echo out. You got all this fancy stuff.
yeah.
Two records is what it is, and that's what it is. You have to know those records. If you don't know your records, you ain't gonna find the spots in the breaks. You ain't gonna have a good mix. Yeah.
It's
So
it's not just the 13-year-olds either. It's the me being a 41-year-old grown ass man. I've played in venues where I brought out the Rev 7, which is a professional DJ controller. That thing's no joke. but
Yeah,
it does not command the respect that two turntables and a mixer does. So I can go out to that same venue I just played the week before and bring out decks and a mixer, whole different response, whole different like
yeah,
level of respect. People actually will come up to me, even if it's Serato, they'll still come up and be like, "Oh my God, you're out here on turntables. That's dope. We don't see this very often. That's cool that you're still bringing turntables out." So decks and a mixer will always command a level of respect that controllers just don't. And it doesn't matter if it's a $1,500, $2,000 controller. It's just it's a different look. It's a different level of professionalism.
yeah. No, you're absolutely correct. That you're right. It has a different presence, and before we move on to now, I
Yeah.
will laugh about this. The justification of not carrying turntables versus a controller from grown men just fucking cracks me up. Like, oh, it's just so lighter to have a controller. Well, I tell you what, once that Rev Seven's in a case,
Oh, it's heavy as
that
shit.
that thing is. I keep my turntables in separate cases, so I stack them up on the dolly and wheel them in. To me, it's not that big of a difference. If you're a
It's
grown man,
not.
you should have some kind of muscles to carry the gear around. So, and then this was brought up at the NAMM show, like, oh well, I could just throw my controller up, set up faster. I'm like, all I got to do is plug an RCA into my mixer. What am I shaving off? 10 seconds, 15 seconds of setup time?
That's it.
What else? What's the next excuse you're going to give me?
Those controllers in a flight case are heavy as shit.
Yeah. Now I
Yes.
get if there's wind and the needle's blowing around. Yeah, there's certain things about vinyl that are a little tricky when you're mobile DJing, or if you're on a floor that's real bouncy and the dance floor's hopping. Now your needles, that's hard to DJ. So there's a time and a place for that kind of stuff.
And you can always pull
So
your phase out.
that you can, or if you
If
got the
the
cross 12s, you're
yeah,
in business,
if
man.
the
You just
tone
put that
arm
mag
is
veil clamp on and roll.
yeah, if your tone arms are
So yeah,
fucked
Doc
up,
Jeezy. I'm old and records are heavy. You got a point there, my brother, because my back feels pretty good right now for not carrying vinyl records from over the years.
right,
So that's
right.
I just love the fact of controlling the files with my turntable. But yeah, in the end, it does turn the turntable into a controller. But yeah, okay. So let's move on back
Let's
to the
do it.
NAM show because we can spend lots of time on this topic. This will probably be the next podcast that we're going to do
Yeah.
is going over the importance. But I just want to make sure that us as OGs try to spread the word of starting out on it. I'm not saying that nobody can't go to a controller or start on a controller. That's not what I'm saying at all. I just want to stress the importance of two turntables and a mixer,
Love it.
the essence of DJing. So yeah. So I cruised around the NAM floor. I'm trying to think of what else that kind of popped off new. Like I said, there's nothing's really coming to mind at that time. So later we go to the other portion of the NAM show. If you've been there, they got like another room where a lot of live sound stuff is. So the big talk was the QSC column.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, so
That caught my eye.
so so when I went in there to check out the QSC column, I only had time to listen to a band play through them. It was a three-piece jazz band. Sounded great. Sounded, but I want to hear a DJ play through them. So I didn't get a chance to go hear a DJ play through them. But my man Clint from the Hit Squad did, and I always value his opinion because he's big into audio just like the rest of us. The system struggled.
Whoa.
They were already talking about you might want to pair up the column with another sub. Well, if you ask me, that kind of defeats the purpose a little
Defeats
bit,
the
right?
purpose
So
completely.
so yeah, so I hopefully maybe they're working on something bigger and better. Reminds me, I want to find my notes, so make sure I'm talking about everything here.
Yeah, man.
Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure I'm thorough here. So, but props for QSC for putting that out. I had a meeting with them a couple years ago, and they talked about making this thing, and it took them a couple years to dial it in. But I'm gonna say now it's probably more for a band. It's kind of like the Bose L1 when that came out. Some of DJs did adopt to it, but it's more for its live sound, if you ask me, in my opinion.
That's
Like I said,
kind
I
of
think
disappointing.
yeah, because you got your diehard QOC guys.
Love
So after
QSC.
that, so you know what booth we went to after that? We went to the EV booth. So we got the new Evolve 70 came out,
Mhm.
new Evolve 90. They're big. They're big. So now these are, I mean, I have an Evolve 50 right behind me. So that's what you see right behind my head here. And so that little thing is pretty good. I would say for 100, people, two of those, you're happening at a wedding. This new one is like really good, really loud. But again, it's a 15-inch sub on the 70. It's a
Oof.
18-inch sub on the 90. Do they
Holy
slap?
shit.
Absolutely. They sound fantastic. Again, crying about the price. Heard a lot of crying about the price. I was more concerned about how much room is that going to take in my Equinox. I'm like, if I decide to go that way, because I'm going to say in the future, this is where we're all going. I
Oh
think
yeah,
column speakers are going to become the standard.
they will.
Speakers on sticks is going to go away, except for if you have a sub and a top, in the poles you're fine. But I'm talking about speaker stands.
Uh,
Probably not going to buy a lot more speaker stands for the shop because we're going this direction.
and I like that direction. It looks more compact. It's clean. It sounds great. It's
Yeah,
easy setup.
that's what it is, and this is where the future's going. So ain't nothing wrong with that. So they if you want full sound and big sound and a calm speaker, then those are the truth.
Yeah,
Yeah, Billy Lane. Yeah, 96 916 Junglist in the building. Column array is awesome for the mobiles. Absolutely, man.
fits
Makes
in
it
a
real
Prius.
easy. Yeah, absolutely fit in the Prius. Well, except for these new evolved 90s and 70s, I don't know.
Yeah,
They're pretty big. Like I said, a box with an 18-inch sub is not going to be small. Same with the 15-inch. But man, if you're talking about good sound, I'm a big fan of EV. I use EV. Um, so of course I'm sold on EV.
yeah,
Now, what direction as far as a column speaker will I go to? I don't know yet. I heard the Evox from RCF, and those sound fantastic. But yeah, 3 racks a box.
ooh, wow.
I don't know if I'm ready to invest that. I think I'm going to ride my EKX on sticks for the rest of the year. Yeah, 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 Billy. The EV columns are outstanding. I got one right behind me here, and it sounds fantastic. It's got a
Yeah,
12-inch sub, and it hits those 808s and those sine waves the way I want to hear, and that's what's
absolutely.
important to me. So, from what I understand, the column from QSC is struggles in that area.
That sucks, dude. I was really hoping they're gonna be great.
I think they'll come out with some other stuff, you know. So,
That's their first
you
time
know,
doing that though, so right? So I mean,
it is. They're a bit late to
they'll
the
figure
party,
it
but
out.
yeah, they'll pick. Yeah, I have no doubt they're going to come out with something bigger and better.
The
You
EVs
know,
are great though. I played on them for about a year at one of my residencies, and those they always got compliments on that sound. People love that way
well,
they
and
sound.
just they're so good on the top. Like if you're using a
Hmm.
good microphone system,
They're
and
great.
the way the line array is supposed to work is to fill the room up evenly. So
Yeah,
everybody can hear the same sound no matter if you're in the back corner, you're in the middle. That's what the whole array thing is about. It's just even sound. Bose was the first one that came out with that L1, and I trained with them when I was still at Guitar Center, and that's what it was all about. We want to hear it smooth wherever you're standing. So,
right.
if you don't really know about what the array's about, and that's really what it's about, and
That's
and
awesome.
also not having the stand and the tripod, less chance somebody's going to trip and fall,
Knock
you
that
know.
shit over, man. Or the
Yeah.
tripods often fail, man. They fail quicker than you think they would. They don't. I haven't. I have bad luck with speaker stands. I just do.
I haven't, and I haven't. So luckily for me, but I've had drunk people grab on like they're holding on for dear life, ready to take my speaker with them. So I'm like, hey, hey, hey. But usually my speakers are right next to where I'm at. They're not across the room.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to keep an eye because you never know what a drunk can do.
There you go. Ain't that the truth? For me, it was
But you just got to be,
little kids running
yeah, but
circles around your shit.
no matter how you set up, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
With whatever you're doing. That's why we use gaff tape for cables. And one of my a friend of mine, that's in Vegas. He's a supporter of One Stop DJ Shop Las Vegas. He got sued. He was doing a gig for another company at a casino there, and he uses a rubber mat for his feet.
Okay.
So the lady of honor of the party, she's an older lady, comes up to ask him for a song, trips on the mat and breaks her hip.
Jeez.
Luckily, he's already squashed it, but it pretty much killed his DJ career because now he doesn't. He's scared to go do anything, and he's had lawyers coming at him and all this stuff. They're going to sue him, and you know, and so you can never be too careful. You know what I mean? And you wouldn't think something like that would happen, but stuff like that happens. You know what I mean? So again,
Wow.
so yeah, so I get scared sometimes after that story. I'm like, man, I don't want nothing to happen, nothing to go wrong, and a speaker fall on somebody or
Yeah.
somebody get hurt. Yeah, yeah, Billy, that it's a nightmare. Yeah, yeah, no drinks on the subs, and even though they see it, they'll still put a drink on the sub, Billy. You know, the sub's supposed to be a twerk stand. Now, if you want to twerk on my sub, I'm okay with that. But don't set your damn drink on there. It's gonna freaking. I've had to clean my subs because of this, and it just irritates the shit out of me. It's
That's
like
how I
it's not a coffee table,
that's how I
you
know
know.
you've been hanging out with Junie C over the weekend, because that's a prime Junie C state of mind.
What was that with the twerking?
Twerking on the sub is okay. That's a designated
Well,
twerk area.
if I was quick, I'd have a video playing if I was Junie C because
Yeah.
that's what he does on his streams.
Dude, well, speaking of speakers, you posted something today that's been on my mind for a long time. You posted those wireless dongles. Um,
Yeah, so X Vive. X Vive's been around for a bit already. I haven't not made the connection with them until this NAMM show.
okay,
So I'm getting deeper into this whole wireless thing because I do believe in the future everything's going to be battery powered and wireless. Everything.
you're already headed
Like we're
there,
just
yeah.
going to show up the gig, put wherever, set up wherever, put things whatever. Oh, they're putting us in the corner. Don't matter. My speakers by the dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
So the products are inexpensive. Customers of mine have given me great feedback. The ones that own them. So making the plunge, I'm actually requesting the dealer paperwork today,
Dope.
and that's something that we're going to have here in the store.
They look
So
cool,
you'll be able to
man.
plug, yeah, you'll be able to plug it into your controller and go wireless to the speaker. You
Yeah.
know, we did a big training the other day with DJ Phil Baker here. So we went over the Everse 8 and using the Shure SLXD systems. And man, that's fantastic. Like this dude dropped so much knowledge on us. Like I ordered everything I need to get this going immediately. So the whole ceremony system for weddings is going to be completely wireless.
That's dope.
Again, everything's
Yeah,
going that direction,
it is.
and if you know about the EV verse, then you know what kind of beast that little speaker is. I mean, this thing will power up the system. Got two inputs. If you have an iPad, you can run the EV's app, control both channels, and then of course it has Bluetooth. So when you're playing ceremony music, you can use an app like iTunes or DJ Pro or whatever you want to use. And now you're controlling everything. It's just one little piece.
That's awesome.
It just takes me a minute to warm up to the technology because I'm always scared. Like, well, what if the battery dies?
Sure.
What am I going to
Sure.
do? What's my backup plan? Yeah. So yeah, we're going that direction, and so I'm gonna when I get these X5s in, I'm gonna play around with them a little bit and you get familiar with them, and I'll share more knowledge on them as I go.
I want to check them out, man. Like they going wireless with my setup has always been on my mind. So I heard it, the latency and all that's great now. Like opposed to years ago, I heard it's really good. So
It's getting there. Eventually, Bluetooth will probably catch up with all. Doc Jeezy says he's used them not too long ago and was surprised how well they worked. Billy Lane, 916 Junglist. I've had better luck with the Alto Stealth or using the Sennheiser wireless body packs, etc. And he's ultimately on the fence with wireless. I've heard great things about the Sennheiser. It's a little more money, just like we use the SLXD from Shure. I mean, that system is going to run you a little more money.
mhm.
Um, so depending on what components you're using, I mean, we were running it with a body pack with a lavalier mic, and then we're using the SLXDs that were made for camcorders. So it's just a little box with Velcro on it. We're Velcroing it on the side of the Everse.
Right.
Work fantastic. I mean, those things will go hundreds of feet. So with the X Vive, I don't know yet in comparison. Yeah, SLXD ability. Yeah. So that's already what I've been using now for my wireless mics because BLX has been letting me down. So last year I just ponied up and broke bread and bought me an SLXD system, and now I have two of them. Yeah, DJ Augie 93, the EV clinic was super dope, and if you came, you learned a ton.
That's awesome.
If you didn't, you did yourself no justice, and you should kick yourself for not coming. But there's going to be more. We're going to next time DJ Phil Baker comes, he's going to do remoting speakers. So he's using a Shure in-ear wireless system. So why is he using an in-ear wireless system? Because the frequencies is 20 to 20,000. So you want to get so if you're remoting a sub, you don't want to use a wireless mic system to do it. because the roll off I think is around 80 or 90. Well, maybe higher than that. Maybe it's 100, but it's meant for a voice. It's meant for a microphone. The in-ear system is meant for audio. So it's generally used for like a band situation, where a band's playing, they got their little body pack on their hip and they got the in-ear monitor and they can control it. Well, they want to be able to hear the bass. They want to hear the kick of the drum. They want to hear the low end. So that's why you're going to use an in-ear monitor system, which also X5 has those too. So I'll be ordering that just to test it. But right now he's using I think it's the PSM 300. I probably don't have the model number right, but it's one of those systems. That's right, Billy. Full range. Want to get that sub knocking. So that way you get, full sound. You don't want to have that roll off, and it sound like shit.
Yeah,
So
it's
that'll be the
dope.
next one. So if you guys keep an eye out, I'll be posting on Facebook. If you're local to the 209 or if you're in Northern California and you're an hour and a half away, trust me, it's worth your time if you're a mobile DJ out working and you want to make life easier for you. You want to get up with the times and join the future.
Dope, dope. I like it. Yeah, that's been on my radar for a little while. Even just using it here in the lab in the studio, I was like, yeah, man, if I could just position speakers differently and not have to run cables to everything, that's cool. Like I'm down.
It's where we're going, man. This is the future. We're in the future, and it's just going to get bigger and better.
Yeah,
Doc Jeezy, I did not get a chance to see the new Lindrum. I need two Jason Gulleys at the NAMM show.
yeah, man.
I couldn't, I didn't get to do everything that I wanted to do because I'm on limited time. The battle royale at Tokyo booth sucked up a good chunk of my Saturday, but I wasn't gonna miss that.
Dude, how'd that
you
go?
know,
How many DJs entered that?
so there was 8 DJs. I think it was eight. Yeah, because it went 8, 4, 2, 1. Yeah, so it was 8 DJs entered. I can't
Dope.
remember everybody's name, but you had Spectacular there.
Yeah.
My man Aristomatic, 11 years old, repping the One Stop
Hey.
DJ shop, Modesto 209 in the building. That's B Boy Vidal and DJ Adept's son. The kid he's a king. He's a young king, and that's even Shortcut said that. I posted one of piece of his set. He's like, that's the young king right there. And he is. He beat out another DJ, and I can't remember the DJ's name. So he proceeded to go to the next round, and then shit, I'm trying to think of the DJ from Japan's name. It's not coming to me.
Oh, I think earlier you said it was Rena.
Yeah, DJ Rena.
Yeah,
So he went up against him, and unfortunately, he didn't go past that. So and that was then it went down to two, and the guy that won was a guy named Robert Smith.
yeah, yep.
So and this dude was DJing with 45s, so he produced his own 45s. So, but and the last two, I didn't stay to watch that because I will talk about more of this on another day. But I was talking to Vidal and Danielle, Aristomatic's parents, about what was going on and all that stuff. Oh no, no, Doc Jeezy Raina's no joke, man. The only thing that was weird is during once it was time for Aristomatic to battle him, he was gone for 30 minutes,
Mm,
and he was in the Beat Junkies booth performing. So not real clear on when you enter a battle, then you take off for 30 minutes and go DJ in another booth and how what the rules should be on that, or if there even is a rule. But I'm going to leave that alone for right now. So, but no, I mean, Ariston Aristomatic, he killed it. Reina killed it. He did a freaking killer LL Cool J Rock the Bells routine, and yeah. So I
yeah.
mean, these guys all they're all deserving. Everybody had a good set. So
Well,
the battle thing is always going to be a gray area of bias and different things. It doesn't matter if it's the DMC or the battle royale or the Red Bull. It doesn't. There's always something about the battles. Just it depends on who's judging and how you
yeah,
feel about stuff. What you think is a highlight for you that somebody does.
yeah.
So we're all going to feel a different way. I've always been talking about doing like a mass singer type DJ battle, like the man. So no we don't know who the hell it is. We just hear
That could
what's
be
going
very
on.
interesting.
I think that's be a way to a good direction to go. But
Because there is a
Again,
certain level of bias in battles. Like you try, obviously, you try not to be right, but you already kind of know who you're favoring to win, who you like, and and battling and DJing is art. It's culture. It's art, and art is subjective. Some people might think two click crescent flares are really dope, and some people might think that they're played out and repetitive and they lack funk. It just depends on what you like. So whenever I look at DJ battles, I'm like, it's so hard outside of completely train wrecking. It's so hard to say who's really better than who because it comes down to what you like. What are you into?
well, and it depends on what you're using, what music you're using,
Yeah.
what samples you're using. So that's gonna spawn a different feeling too. So yeah, there's a lot of
A lot of
area there that
variables. Yeah.
yeah. So and we're all humans here, so yeah, there's not a lot we can do.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know, you can't do crowd participation because then it's like somebody brought 100 people with them, and the
Oh,
other DJ only brought
dude.
five, and you know
I've
what I
seen
mean.
that
So
backfire so many times.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a really a tough situation, and all we could do is keep going. And I'm just so glad that Aristomatic came out there and made it
That was
happen at
dope.
11 years old. Shout out to all the DJs that have balls to get in front of an audience and do this shit,
Yeah.
you know. And shout out to Stokio. Shout out to Chuck at Stokio and Roy and George and Ronix and everybody there that helped put on this thing.
Yeah.
Much love and respect. They also did the Scratch Like a Girl. Shorty ran that, and
Nice.
that was a lot of fun. DJ Adept got to be up there repping Modesto too, getting her cut on. In my opinion, she's one of the best. And I'm not saying best female. I'm just
Period.
saying best cutter, best.
Period.
So that could be debatable for you. I don't know, but when I hear her cut, I'm just like I don't hear anybody else cut like
A
that.
lot of funk, a lot of
And I,
flow.
yeah, so and you had a lot of girls that are up there just getting down. I mean, was amazing, really. You know, So again, shout out to Stokio for again, I know they're on the same movement I am. Like let's keep this turntable thing going. You know, let's stress the importance of two turntables and a mixer. Like I
Yeah,
said, you don't
yeah.
have to stay on it, but if you start there, you're gonna, like I said, when you go to digital, it's gonna be real good for you.
I've heard some feedback from the Stokio battle from some friends. They said that the final round, which was, I believe, Rena and who'd you say, Robert Smith? Is that what you?
Robert Smith.
So
Yeah.
there was people noticed something. There were from what I heard is the final round. Jazzy Jeff chose the records that you
Jazzy
had to
J.
use. Jazzy J chose the
Yeah.
records that you had to use,
Yep.
and so
That's correct.
from what I've heard from the people who were there watching this battle, they said because Robert Smith is such a OG and he knows this hip hop music and he knows the records so well from having that foundation that he kind of had a one up over Rena because he knew the songs, he knew the records, he knew how to work the vinyl. So they were saying Rena was just doing really well, but he was kind of just taking like the beginning, like maybe like the stabs or or the ones or the drum, whatever, and just kind of working with that. When Robert Smith was using like all of the record, using multiple sounds, multiple phrases, multiple beats.
Right.
So that kind of goes back to what you're talking about. If your foundation is strong on the wax and two turntables and a mixer, and knowing your music, he was able to defeat Rena because he used that in his advantage. He had that foundation. And so I heard that Rena was really dope, but he didn't have that foundation behind it. So when he was getting busy, he only used small pieces of the record versus Robert Smith, who used a lot of the record. So they said that that was kind of like the nail in the coffin that set him apart everyone else.
Right, right. So, unfortunately, after Aristomatic he didn't move forward. I had to break away and have a conversation with his parents, and I didn't actually. I was kind of turned off at that point and didn't even want to watch the rest of the battle. But what you're saying was told to me as well, and yeah, that's an advantage. But when you're hardcore hip hop, you should have known those records because they picked from 5 different records. I think Planet Rock was one of them. I think that's
Right.
what they ended up with was Planet Rock.
I heard there was
But there
like
was
like an EPMD joint. Yeah, like typical stuff,
yeah,
right? Pretty,
it's
pretty.
all bread and butter
Yeah,
hip hop
yeah,
turntablist stuff.
for sure.
So And there was guys there that I won't name that were in the battle that were upset that that guy won the battle too. So,
Really?
back to the bias, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I didn't watch it, so I can't even talk on it. I can't even speak on it because I was a bit turned off, for a variety of reasons after that, and just
for sure, for sure.
it was just that I started talking to people and resumed my picture taking, and then once the battle was over, I went back to Tokyo because I had to pick up an order for Rob, and that was that. But
Can
I'm definitely going to reach out to Stokio and be like, if you guys need my help, man, I'm here.
can
I'm
we
here.
see Aristomatic's his set anywhere? Is that living anywhere
So
online?
on Instagram yesterday, I posted a one piece of his set, one piece of his winning that he won against the other DJ that I can't think of his name.
Okay,
So I did record everything he did. I have
sick,
recorded on my phone, so I
very
will
dope.
put each piece out one piece at a time to show you how well this kid flowed. He's fearless. I mean, he's up there in front of a bunch of people. Shit, he's got Jazzy J like right next to him.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I know that for Vidal, he's just like, I can't believe it. Like this is like a full circle moment right here. I'm here with Jazzy J, the great, and my son's right here doing this. I mean, it was big for all of us. So
It's great.
that was one of the things I stressed. Let's just make all positive out of all this. It was important to me that Aristomatic walks away on a super high positive note.
Hmm.
So because last thing I want is him to feel any kind of discouraged because things can't be ran in a smooth way.
'That's big, man. How old again? Oh,
11 years old.
wow, crazy.
I remember when this kid was born, and I remember him coming to the shop. This kid has always been doing art, dancing. I mean, I feel like he's going to be an actor someday. I mean, this
Right.
kid he has it. I've been saying that for years. His parents aren't the kind of parents that push him to do anything.
Hmm.
One day, Vidal was just kind of mixing, and he showed him mix, and he picked up mixing like he already knew how to do it.
Very dope.
I mean, he already understood the structure of a song, where to drop the drum. I mean, he's born with it. This kid, some people just are born with natural abilities, and this kid has got the natural ability of art, dancing, DJing, and like I said, probably acting, and who knows what else he's gonna
Yeah.
he's gonna set the world on fire. And I've been telling him for years. I'm all, don't ever forget about me when you're famous.
Yeah, man.
Remember all the times you came to the shop? We kicked it. I'm
Yeah,
all, don't forget about me.
that's dope.
Yeah, Billy Lane, I love it too, man. I was so excited when he was in the be able to get in the battle, so excited, and I'm glad his parents was able to get down there and make all this happen because this is just the beginning of where that's going for him.
Yep.
So outside the battle, on another note, so I caught Scratch Bastard and Gaslamp Killer. Did you
Okay.
guys catch any of that online?
I didn't. No.
I filmed about 2 minutes of it, and this jackass cameraman just stood right in front of me, so I had to kill what I was recording. But they were there. It's going to be on YouTube. It was Pioneer that was filming it.
Okay.
But even I wanted to still slap this guy in the back of his head. I'm like, you see me with my camera filming this,
Right, right.
fucking asshole. But they had a dope set. Those two flow really good together. I mean, I can't wait till you guys can see that set that they did.
I
These
didn't
guys are so good at what they do.
I didn't know they worked it together. That's dope. Wow.
Yeah, they were on stage together. Like I said, I have pictures and stuff, but I
Yeah.
didn't want to rock the boat on the stream to try to show everybody the pictures. I will definitely when in edit I will put up a picture. But no, they just got it in, man. They had everybody pumped up, and you guys know how Scratch Bastard gets down. You guys know how
Yeah.
Gaslight Killer gets down. I mean, you put those two together, and it's magic.
That's the crazy part because they're so different, but it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, but they share what's in common here: two turntables and a mixer.
Right.
Back to for circle and back again.
That's actually
They weren't,
really nuts. I wish I would have caught that.
and there was a lot of heat in the booth throughout the show. I didn't spend normally I spend a lot of time with Pioneer DJ, but this year I knew about all the gear that's already been there. I
Yeah.
didn't spend a lot of time there. I mean, I missed a lot of other shows, people performing, but like I said, I had tons of meetings, so the meetings were important.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
so that was another highlight, just them two getting down.
Jeez.
And of course, you had your regular cats out there, Cubert's floating around doing his scratch and stuff in different, different booths.
Right.
He came and watched the battle for a little while. It was great to see Shortcut. We know that man had that health issue, and he's still not 100%. And he's still a little numb on one side of his body, but
Mm,
he made it out there and happened. He emceed the battle royale, and and when Raina was gone for 30 minutes, they said on a bathroom break,
mm.
he jumped in and performed really for us. So, which was really cool.
Oh,
I'm trying to think. I didn't see much of the Beat Junkies booth because, like I said, I was so busy. Like I said, there needs to be two Jason Gulleys. I can't. I can't.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not Stretch Armstrong man here, and I can just stretch around the show. So, I know I missed a lot of stuff, and I'm sure we'll start seeing more content coming out from different people that caught stuff. I didn't make it to the bass boss demo, but they was shaking the building. I didn't make it to the Roland booth. Wanted to.
Oh,
It's
you
just
didn't
there's
make it
only
to the
so many.
booth at all.
No, there's only so
Oh,
much time in
wow.
the day.
Yeah,
Well, like I
yeah.
said, the battle royale sucked up. By the time I got walked away from the Stokio booth, it was like 4:45.
Pretty
The
much
show was
wrap it
closing
up.
at 5.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Yeah, yeah, Jock Jeezy. Those bathroom breaks in Japan do hit different. Oh man,
You're
yeah,
right though. From
Billy.
from my perspective, there wasn't a whole lot gear wise. So I mean, like places where you normally might spend most of your time, you're kind of just poking in and out at this point. Like, oh, all right, just saying hey, saying what's up, showing support. Like, all right,
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm gonna have to do in the future, or bring somebody with me that can be eyes and ears where I'm not eyes and ears. It's funny. A Billy 916 Chunglist DJing at a trade show full of a room of, in a room full of skilled DJs is the most nerve wracking gig ever.
yeah.
I agree. That's like I said, my man, Aristomatic man, he had no fear. Like this dude, he's in front of freaking. You got Jazzy J sitting over here. You got a host of other famous DJs all around us, and it's like this dude showed no fear. But yeah, the most nerve wracking thing I've done as a DJ, I had Egyptian Lover sitting right behind me for a set years
Mm,
ago, and I ended up DJing for him that night too. I'm like, okay, I got to crush it, and then I was on a controller too, so I was out of my comfort zone. But you know what? He freaking loved the mix I did, gave me props, took a picture of me, posted it up, man. I felt damn good. But it does make you nervous, when there's DJs you look up to and you're in the same room with them DJing,
yeah,
because now you're like, I have to freaking, I got to be badass. You know what I mean? It was like that at Crocodile's nightclub when I did Freestyle Fridays recently. Same deal. A lot of DJs in the room, people I look up to, but I went in there and freaking put it down. Right now I'm pretty confident now. I'm like, man, I'm going to do my thing regardless. Hopefully it's a perfect set, but you never know. What's up to my man DT Jams live in the building? I want to say something funny. There's only 3 people from Modesto that stream on Twitch. And my man DT Jams live is one of them. I'm one of them, and the other one is MF Mama. It mind blows me that in this city full of DJs, why are we the only 3 DJs on Twitch? And I'd be calling out some of these guys too that, oh, I killed the club last night over here. Well, show us. When are you going to get on Twitch and show us? Yeah, Billy, MF Mama, love Tamara.
yeah.
Shouts to
She's
Tamara.
dope. Tamara's a good people.
You know, yeah. But that's just weird to me. Like, what's wrong with you guys? You don't want to share your talent, or you're just keeping it under wraps, or maybe you're just not as good as you think you are. I don't, and I'm not sitting here saying I'm the best because I know damn well I'm not. But I get on there and have fun, and plus I like to show the world that I do DJ. Yeah, I got a shop too. Yeah, but I DJ. It all started with the DJing. Everything else followed.
Absolutely,
you
absolutely.
know, yeah. So hopefully that's a kick in the ass. If you're from Modesto watching this, little kick in the ass for you.
Shit, I needed kicking my
By
ass.
yours truly.
I haven't streamed in a long time.
But you've been getting back on it, man. You've been streaming for a long time. Well before, I mean, shit, you're the one that showed me how to do it. So
We'll
you
figure
know,
it out. We'll get it back. We'll get it going.
oh man, yeah, no, absolutely. I'll be streaming later this week. I don't know
Oh
if I'll be
yeah,
able to do it Thursday or not, but I'll let you guys know when I do it. Yeah, DT Jams Live. Twitch is a great forum, and
it's great.
my big buddy Knock here that I'm on the Twitch now doing this. He was early on Twitch. Like everybody was just gaming on Twitch, and he was like, "I'm DJing on Twitch." and that was before the pandemic and where Twitch became a thing. So
That can
much
be a
love and
whole nother
respect.
show, man. Like talking about where Twitch started and where it's at now. Like just really quickly, I don't want to get too off topic, but I remember when I discovered Twitch, there was literally 10 DJs on Twitch, literally 10, and where it's
Right?
at now is just insane. But yeah,
Oh yeah. No, I'm still discovering DJs on there. If somebody's on, when I go on at night and I don't see anybody that I know, I'll pick somebody randomly and just listen to them. And actually, I find more DJs that are dope, and
yeah,
that's how I discover other people.
window to the world,
This
man.
morning, oh yeah, this morning, Monday mornings, I listen to DJ Chaotic. He has the Back to the '80s stream. Sipping my coffee, love what he does. He's playing '80s commercials. He's all '80s music, playing the videos. I mean, he's got just good personality about what he does. If you're not following DJ Chaotic, you got to follow him. He's got a great polished show on Monday nights. I listen to Chris Cut. She does a show called "Don't Text Your Ex," and she's playing like slow jams from the '80s and '90s and sometimes 2000s or '70s. I got to meet Chris Cut in person at NAMM. She was at the mix and greet, and we had like a secret word. So I was on her stream. You're gonna be at NAMM? She's like, I'm gonna be there. She's like, okay, there's a lot of weirdos, so I'm gonna give you a code word. She's like, when you see me, approach me and say, I like lengua tacos.
Oh damn,
So when I saw her, I was like, oh shit, there's Chris Cut right there. And I said,
yeah,
hey. I said, hey. She's like, what? And I was like, I like lengua tacos.
that's
So
funny.
give me just a second. I'm gonna open the door for my man Mo. Hold on.
I like lengua tacos. Uh, yeah, I mean that is a hell of a code word. I don't mess with the lengua tacos. I'm more of a quesadilla or a pastor. Carne asada goes hard too, but lengua, cabeza, nah. But yeah, that's definitely a
Yeah,
code word if
yeah.
you need
Well,
one
you know me. I don't do lengua, man. I'm doing pastor, tacos, carne
all
asada,
day.
chicken, chorizo, that kind of stuff.
Oh man, we got to stop. I'm getting hungry.
Yeah. So thinking about chewing on a cow's tongue is not really my deal, but I've
No,
had them before, and it's not bad. You know, it's fairly delicious. So,
no.
but it's just the thought in my mind. That's all it is. The thought in my mind.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
yeah. So she's a real sweet girl. She's got a real calming voice. If you ever listen to her show, she'll be on tonight. And she does marathon streams too. Sometimes she's like, "Yeah, I was on for 10 hours." I'm like, "How do you do
Damn.
that?" And just crazy to me. So then I met DJ J Bird too.
Jaybird's good people.
Um, love watching his streams, man. Like interfacing with him because I'll be on there talking shit with him. And he enjoys the conversation too.
Oh,
So
he was at Nam.
yeah, yeah,
Sick. Okay, dope. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's
yeah.
good people.
Took a picture of him and DJ Jeb's live when we were at the mix and greet.
Yeah, I met him at TwitchCon. Super cool dude.
So Charlene the Terrible One, the tacos that lick you back.
Oh damn.
oh, what kind of tacos are those?
That's for our upcoming late night podcast.
Yeah. Well, I've licked my share of tacos, but I've never had a
Oh
taco lick
shit.
me back yet. So, but I'm in tune with that.
Late night with
Def-
Knock and Gulley.
Come on, 2 in the morning. We'll play it on BET. You know how they used to have that the BET late night, like the X-rated videos.
Oh, that is hilarious. That
What's
is
up, Charlene? Charlene, the boss lady, mixed coast in the building. Yeah.
that
So
is hilarious.
she got down to the mixed greet and partied with us that night. So that was a fun night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. So did you have a chance to check out that new Korg Handy Tracks?
Glad you brought that up. That was on the list. Absolutely. I even made a reel on it. And guess what? Korg official shared it on Instagram,
Dope.
bringing me
Dope.
tons of new traction on the page.
Dope.
Yeah. So I got tons of people following me just from that video. So that thing was really cool. So there's two of them.
I
One's
heard
more a
there's
little more
three.
high end. I didn't see three. I saw two different colored higher end ones and then one regular one.
Okay.
But it's possible there was three. Maybe I missed something on something. But so I videoed the guy doing it. So this thing has a built-in sampler on it, built-in crossfader, built-in effects, and the sampler had so much long time. He sampled a whole 45 version of the song he was playing, and was able to hit play and then pull out another record, start mixing it on top of it. So that was pretty
Jeez.
cool. And then it has the tone arm where you can put whatever cartridge you want on it. So it's gonna be good, man. Me and Rob are already in the works of getting these things ordered.
Please. I definitely want one.
Yeah,
But,
well, we all do after seeing what it does.
yeah, it's one thing that I discovered from doing a little research on it that I thought was kind of weird. There's no start and stop on it.
I didn't look at that
Yeah, there's
to
no
see how
start
he
and
was doing
stop.
it.
The platter turns on when you put the needle on the record.
And I think that's how the handy track was, if I'm not wrong.
The
The
original, the
original
OG.
handy
Yeah, yeah,
tracks,
yeah, yeah.
and that's how that one worked, right?
Not
Did you
hundred
move the tone
percent.
arm? That's
I'm not sure.
okay.
It's a good
Okay,
question.
I'm thinking that's how that one worked too. But yeah, don't quote me on it. I never did own a handy tracks. In fact, when I worked at Guitar Center and sold them, it said on the box, "This is not for scratching."
And look where we're
It
at.
did. So
Yeah,
the idea with the handy tracks was to go digging for vinyl, and then you would be able to preview the record,
yeah.
while you were digging. And
That's why I heard that they got numerous versions of it. They got the version that's meant for scratching and a version that's meant for archiving records. Like they want you to plug this
right,
thing in and archive your shit.
yeah,
And
that was the other one.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. And what's really cool is what I read is
Oh,
that
you know what it had? The other one had built into it was a tube
that's right. Yeah, it has a tube built into it.
to make the signal warm. So that it's that tube saturation. So I'm sure it sounds fantastic. That's more for the audiophile guy.
Yep.
That's not going to be for your scratch guy. Although I'm sure there's a way you can hook up a external fader to it. Because it did not have a crossfader built into it.
The tube one does not know. No.
No, no, it was more for audiophile. But and shouts out to Japan and Tokyo and all those guys with the Frisk fader that started the whole movement with this portable stuff.
The
And look where it's at now. And it kind of died off for a while, but maybe this will bring it back.
Jeezy's asking the price point. I saw 399.99. It's the price point on the
Yeah,
one that you could
yeah,
cut
that's
on.
yeah. As far as I know, that is map. Yeah,
Yeah. Fun little fact, this was actually made in conjunction with Vestax.
yep,
So I was like, that's pretty dope.
correct.
Like that's actually really cool.
Yeah, no, that's super dope because
Yeah.
that's the first portable turntable that I'm aware of. I mean, there may be something else out there. Besides, I guess portable turntables have been around for a long time. Portable turntables, since I was a kid, you can get a Fisher Price turntable and play a record because
Yeah.
that's how we listened to music back in the day. So portable turntables have been around forever. I think the Vestax is probably the first DJ company that
Uh-huh.
came out with a portable turntable. I could be wrong on the history, so don't quote everything I say. I'm just giving you my version from what I've seen where I'm standing in Modesto. And that was like the first portable that I knew of that had batteries and you could take a record dig in and preview the record,
The
built in
handy
speakers.
tracks. Yeah.
Doc Jeezy, I don't think it has an NO fader in it.
I don't know what
I'm
kind of fader.
sure that Elliot is on top of that right now, and that's something that's probably in the works.
So
I
yeah.
don't think it had hamster either.
It does.
It does have
It's actually on
hamster.
the
Okay,
back of it's on the back of the unit. There's a hamster
okay.
switch.
So I didn't zone in enough on it to know, but well, that's good news
Yeah,
because
it
I know
does have a
that's a deal
hamster.
breaker. That's a deal breaker for some folks out there.
That's a deal
So
breaker for me. I need the hamster switch, hamster style all day.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So I
that's
think
a
we
must.
covered all the newer stuff that was out there.
Yeah. I saw a lot of cool bags. Jetpack and Magma both dropped some heat.
Yeah.
Bag wise. Jetpack dropped a collaboration 45 bag with the Beat Junkies that they showed off at NAMM.
Okay, I
Uh,
missed that, so I didn't see that. But I
yeah.
barely talked to Ton for a second, and in fact, DJ Alpha, he goes by that on Twitch. He's a big streamer too. I don't know if you're following DJ Alpha, but definitely follow him. He's doing
Hmm.
Twitch every day consistently, and he's on there having fun and playing the jams. And he's actually a dope DJ. Shouts to Jetpack and the Beat Junkies. So
Yeah.
I know that'll do well. They always share the booth together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know that it was always popping, but I did get a chance to stop by and say hi to him and gave him a hug. I didn't have a taco on me, but I would have gave him a taco if I had one.
Yeah, man.
because that was my mantra. Is like, if you see me, give me a hug or and a taco.
Hug and a taco.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah,
45
and
bag. It was a prototype, looked good. Beat Junkie collaboration. It was the first official. Well, no, they did an anniversary collection a while back, but this is like the real deal going into gonna hit retail. Looked good. It looked really cool. Again, vinyl culture, guys spinning 45s, it's huge. So that's gonna be
oh yeah,
that was a cool thing. They were also pushing their other bag. What is that? I took notes here.
the glide
The
style
glides,
or
the glide bags. Yeah, they're pushing
yeah,
those. They got a couple new ones on those, and of
yeah,
course,
I'm looking
you
right
know,
at one in a box right across the room from me.
oh really? The
Yeah, somebody come buy it.
Magma had a
It's
couple of
yours.
cool trolleys, like cool bags. That's one thing I'm interested in. I'm gonna get on my old man shit. Bags with wheels. Like please, let's do it.
Yeah,
Like I'm
yeah,
all for it. Bags I
yeah.
can just pull up a handle on and cart around.
M-
Yes, please.
Magma's made them in the past. UDG's made them in the past. Unfortunately,
Yes,
UDG doesn't have anything going on here in the U.S., so we're not able to get their stuff. But yeah, the trolley bags,
down. Super down for the
making it
trolley
easy.
bags.
So speaking of stuff with wheels on it, I didn't get the model number fast enough. But last year when I was at NAMM, I meet with the Music People. The Music People is a distribution hub for anybody live sound, DJ, recording, and they also own onstage stands.
Okay.
So last year, when me and Rob were having a meeting with my rep Anna, she shows me this little rack that you put a guitar amp on, and it has wheels, so you're able to wheel your guitar amp to the gig. And I said, that'd be really cool if they did that for subs. The guy could put a sub on there, wheel it into the gig.
That part.
And probably even leave it on there possibly.
Yeah.
So she's like, so we have our meeting this year, and so we're going through stuff, and she goes, "Oh, got to show you this." She'll check it out. The sub is sitting on this rack, and I have a picture of it. Like I said, I would love to share it on here, but I'll share it on the repost of this. She's like, "We took your information, and we made this product. Check it out."
Wow.
And so I felt almost like an influencer. I'm like, hey, you guys are listening to me, little old Jason Gulley. Shit, all right. So it made me feel like like I have a place to like help me, help design something or just give an idea. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Hell yeah.
You know, yeah.
That's
So
dope.
Doc Jeezy needs a bag for his laptop and his push. Um, the backpacks that I really like are made by Odyssey. Um, I'll shoot you a couple models to look at. I'm not opposed to Jetpack because I love those guys, but I've really fell in love with the Odyssey backpacks for a variety of reasons. They just a lot of you can pack a lot of stuff in them. Zippers are fantastic. I mean, yeah. But much love to everybody. I'm not knocking one brand over the other. I like Magma cases too. Shout out to Mike Hagan over there at Magma. It's the homie right there.
Yeah.
Um, Always great product. Shout out to Jetpack, like the whole fam with Jetpack, and of course everybody at Odyssey Cases. Yeah,
It would be cool to get some UDG bags in, but
I love UDG. I used to carry UDG. Mixware used to distribute them, but then they
yeah.
started distributing Magma, and then there was almost a fist fight at NAMM show one year over it. And UDG pretty much gave Mixware the finger, and
Mm.
and, and that's that. And that's that. It's a wrap. So there's no going backwards on that. So what else did you see that caught your eye on social media throughout the show?
I think we pretty much went over it all. I'll double check my notes, but yeah, it looks like we pretty much hit on all of it. Again, my biggest takeaway from the show this year was community. Looked like the community
Yeah,
was well represented and taken care of. It looked like there were so many events on the showroom floor and off the showroom, like that it. But again, wasn't a big year for gear, but DJ culture is alive and well. And thanks to live streaming and other platforms like Twitch, it's only getting bigger. And I think that for me, that was the biggest takeaway of NAM is just building the community back up and everybody kind of finding their place and supporting each other. Gear wise, star of the show for me was FaZe. Second in line is the Handy Tracks, or yeah, the new Core Handy Tracks collab. And I mean, I'm a sucker for bags. Gear is one thing. I love gear, but I have way more bags. I got more bags than my wife does. I have a crazy amount of bags. So the 45 case from Magma looked dope. The Jetpack 45 case looks dope. Actually, Jetpack mentioned something, but I can't find any literature on it. They mentioned that they have a product that I think they're still kind of developing, which is to raise gear up to proper height. They were talking about this because shout out to DJ Curse. I guess like within the community, Curse is known for being a guy who hates that when gear's really low and he like it kind of ruins his whole day. He gets really pissed about it. So they're like, oh yeah, Curse is gonna love this new product. It's to raise gear up on short tables. I forgot they have a name for it,
Okay.
forgot what it's called. They showed it on stream, but the camera angle is bad, so you couldn't really get a good look at it. But I was like, yes, we need to focus on that too. We need to focus on having gear at proper height, because too many times you walk into these events where the gear is so damn low and then your back is just killing you right after the gig. So that's I'm
Yeah,
glad
yeah,
somebody's
I
thinking
get
about
that.
it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and you can also stack your cases if need be. So I guess there's different ways to look at it. But yeah, if there's a need for a product like that and they're behind it, and if
Yeah.
somebody's gonna buy into it because of that, then yeah, I'm interested to see what they got going. I'm
Yeah.
short, so I use a 6 foot Costco fold out, and that's what I use mobile DJing, and I have no problem. I'm good. Like, even though my gear's a little bit low, at my home my stuff's pretty raised up,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
more comfortable to DJ on. But I make it happen with the 6 foot fold out. But again, I'm short, so yeah. Doc Jeezy said at this point, I feel like the after parties and battles are bigger than NAM. Yeah, to a point, except for some of the performances you do see at NAM. But yeah, I mean, the parties is where everybody can let loose, and then everybody can go to the parties. You don't need a pass to get
Yeah.
into the party. Again, me and DJ Queasy are already planning the DJ social for Thursday night, NAM 2026. So definitely make plans to go there. DJ Johnny O, there's no really proper height, man. It depends on how tall you are, to where you're comfortable with the gear. There's no answer
Yeah.
on that one.
Um, I've looked into this because unfortunately I have I have medical issues because of my poor DJ posture. Um, the proper height for a DJ shit setup is that your arm should be at a 90-degree angle. That's how you know if your
Yeah,
gear's at the proper height. Your arm should be at a 90-degree angle. You know, back straight, not leaning forward, not hunching over. Arms at a
yeah.
complete 90-degree angle. If they're lower or higher, even higher is bad too. If you're reaching for the gear, bad. If you're reaching down for the gear, bad. 90-degree angle on the arms.
Well, I feel like my setup here in front of me is probably too low. I'm using an ADJ event table right now here at the shop. But my other DJ desk that was my man Hanks that passed away is, I feel that that's a pretty proper height, and I don't know what the measurement is on it. I'd have
But you're right though.
to measure.
Every DJ's
My voice is going out still. Sorry, I felt like those last words were a whisper.
I felt like you were just really into what you were saying.
No, I was into it, but I'm
Yeah.
also, when I came back here, I got like allergies are hitting me again too, so I'm battling that as well.
Yeah. We
But yeah, so
yeah,
yeah, so like we'll both agree that the community was number one in the whole show.
absolutely.
Which camaraderie, I mean, me hanging out with the Hit Squad fam, man, is so real. We had so much fun